Hello everyone, welcome to our first episode of Crazy Lang Extra. In this series I'm going to take a break from my normal shooting schedule, get rid of the script mostly, and do some more vloggy type things. And I'm going to apologize for wearing the sunglasses. I had eye surgery last year, and if I don't wear sunglasses when I'm outside, the sunlight just kills me. If you're on social media and you've ever liked any sort of a language page, and you're from an English-speaking country, then you've probably seen ads like these. But anyway, we're here to answer the question, should I or should you teach English online? Is it worth it, basically? And I'm going to be going through what I think are the pros and cons of the field before I give you my opinion at the end. So, pro number one is that you get to set your own schedule. Mostly. It depends on if you're working freelance or if you're working for a company. Obviously, if you're working freelance, you can set any kind of schedule you want. However, that doesn't mean that you'll be able to find students to fill that specific schedule. If you're working for a company, obviously, they're going to have certain times that you can teach, and those may or may not align with times that you're wanting to teach. And keep in mind that if you're teaching in a foreign country, you're teaching a student who lives in a foreign country, there's going to be a time difference. And in China, it's like 12 hours. And pro number two is that you can set your own price. Again, mostly. If you're working freelance, you can set your own price, but that doesn't mean that students are going to want to pay that price. And obviously, if you're working for a company, if you're working on a website, a third-party company like italki, you can set your own price, but there's some pretty stiff competition out there with incredibly low prices. If you're working for a company that sets the prices, you're going to have to negotiate, and also that might be based on performance and your past experience. So don't believe it when it says you're going to make thousands of dollars a month right off the bat. There's a lot more to it than just that. Pro number three is that working one-on-one with people really forces you to be flexible and creative. You don't know how well your student's going to respond to the materials that you give them, so in all likelihood you're going to have to recreate things, adapt things, and even with students of the same level and the same language, the same first language, trying to learn English, you don't know what things are going to get right away and what things you're going to have to work on. So that really ups your teacher game when you have to do that. But again, that's if you're working freelance. If you're working for a company, they might create the materials and mandate when and how you deliver them. And number four in the pro column is that working one-on-one also helps to create a stronger bond between you and the student, and this usually leads to better outcomes in the long run in terms of their education. Now we get to talk about the cons, which I have to admit I sort of touched on already in the pro column. Sorry. The biggest con for me is obviously that it is a buyer's market. And that's because in the last 5 years or so, the industry has really changed to be much more online based. And we see this even at the university level. Students don't want to drive to a school, live in a dorm, or even go into a classroom. They want the convenience of doing things from home. And so the whole system is adapting to this, and it's going really, really quickly. And especially in China, they seem to have mastered this model. And because of this, because there's so many companies and so much saturation of the market of these companies saying that, oh, you can teach English with no degree, we just need native speakers, just get your butt in here. It makes it easy for students to set their own price as opposed to teachers setting the price and then getting the students to pay them. So the negotiation is not equal. When you have a company that's charging people $5 an hour to have maybe a licensed teacher teach them online, what chance do you have trying to ask for $20 or more? I mean, honestly. Con number two is that if you're working for a company, they tend to want to micromanage you. Again, this is if you're working directly for a company and it's not a third party like italki, where it's just a community that helps connect people together, but actually a direct company where the students sign up to get English lessons directly from you. So they're paying your salary. So you don't know what they're charging the students, but you're getting a certain amount that the company thinks that you're worth. And the micromanaging has more to do with what you teach, how fast you teach it, and looking at specific outcomes. And if you're not hitting those outcomes, then you might lose hours, get a pay cut, or be fired. Okay, so number 3, it's hard to find reliable students. So yeah, someone might sign up for your course or agree to take classes with you, but that doesn't mean that they're going to show up, they're going to do their homework, that they're going to stay on task during the lesson, and worst of all, they might not pay you. There are certain cultures where you don't pay ahead of time, you pay after you receive services. I'm not going to mention any names, but I've had some pretty negative experiences with that. And what are you going to do? You can't sue them for damages if they're living in another country. I guess you could try, but good luck with that. Let me know how that goes. And sadly, number 4 in the con column is that it hurts other professionals. So if you're signing up to do this online teaching thing, chances are you're taking that opportunity away from a professional who wants to work in a university or in a school in person. Because again, the online school can offer a cheaper price, more teachers, and it's more convenient because you can study whenever you want. Whereas at school, they have set hours, they might have to give you benefits, they might have a minimum wage that they have to pay you, but a lot of the online stuff could be contract work where you're just getting whatever they decide to give you. So obviously my opinion of of this field is not super positive. I've done it, and I know a lot of people who have done it and loved it, and it really works for them. Either they find a bunch of students and they just are making the money, or they find a company and they love the structure and they just get the job done and it's everything they want. But for me personally, I don't like to be micromanaged, and I want to create my own materials, and I want to have the flexibility to change my schedule if I want to. But again, there are trade-offs with that position. So my advice would be, if you want to do this, I would suggest that you keep the job you have now or get like a regular job that pays you enough to survive, and then do this on the side. Then from there, you can try to build your student base or get more hours or rise to the ranks in the company to where you don't have to work this other job anymore and you can do this full time. But if you're thinking, I've got a high school diploma, I'm a native English speaker, they're promising me $22 an hour or up to $22 an hour, yeah, that's so much more money than I'm gonna make working at, unnamed burger joint or unnamed retail outlet. Don't count on it, kids. Sorry, I'm not trying to laugh. I'm not trying to minimize people's goals and ambitions or dreams, but you've got to be smart about this. It's just like any career. You've got to do the time in order to become successful in most cases. So that's my advice. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe to my channel. Let me know if you have other questions or topics that you'd like me to cover sort of off the cuff like I did today. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye!